Push County Sheriff's Department.
Curt Ingram, please.
That's Curt.
Mr. Ingram?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I'm calling is we're real confused here why nothing seems to be getting done about this. They've yet to even question any of the witnesses who saw all these people there.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
Are you talking about on the game camera thing? That was shown on the game camera or the video or whatever it is?
Yeah, our surveillance camera caught the people trying to break in.
Okay, well, the DA has viewed that. Have you talked to him?
I have not. He said he called me if he had anything. But what I don't understand is a big part of the case would be all the witnesses who place all these people, besides all the other evidence, at the scene of the crime. And we find it odd that...
What do you mean all the other people played that? So all these people seen them sitting up there at the cabin?
They didn't see him at the cabin, but they seen them camped right next to the cabin.
Okay, that's not evidence of anything, other than that they were camped next to the fence.
Right, but you don't think it's suspicious? At the same time I was robbed, they were camped 25 yards away?
Well, I didn't hear anything about you being robbed. I mean, and the DA has viewed that tape, and the game warden has got a copy of that tape trying to figure out who these folks are, and he is going to do some game warden violations, but the DA said that he didn't see any violations other than trespassing as far as he could tell on the video.
There was over $1,000 worth of vandalization done to the property.
Well, see, that's the first time I've heard of that.
It's all written down on my police report that I turned in to
So all of that's on video too?
No, that's not on video. You can see them walking down from where that was done.
Okay, well, still doesn't prove that they done that.
So it's not worth even questioning them?
If they ever find them, they will question them, yes. They're still trying to identify who the people actually are.
But they don't think since it's Brian Kirkus's land that there's a good chance maybe he knows who they are?
Well, I know that they've probably talked to him, but I don't know. I haven't talked to Floyd in a while on any of that case up there, so I don't know exactly what. I know he's still been working on it, but I don't know exactly what all.
I was told Polly Culver was handling it.
Well, Polly's handling it, but Floyd's been helping her because he works up there, and
Polly told me they hadn't, and it had no plans of questioning anyone.
And they may not. I don't know. I don't know what they're, like I say, I don't know 100% what they did. The last I heard on that is the DA did not think there was any evidence on there to pursue any charges at this time. And that the game warden was trying to identify these folks where they could, the people who was actually on the video, where they could talk to them.
The game warden told me that their dispatcher identified Randy Kennedy as one of them.
Okay, and then they've been trying to find him and question him as far as I know. But you know as well as I do, they're not going to, you know, he's going to say they didn't do anything, but other than go over and look in the cabin, which is what the video shows, appears to show.
Wouldn't that at a minimum be trespassing?
Well, if the DA decides to file that. But that's up to the DA. I don't think the DA is going to file anything off the video.
Well, if it's obviously trespassing, why wouldn't they...
I'm not the district attorney. I can't tell you that.
Well, I got to be honest with you. It seems like everybody's going through more work to make sure these people don't get in any trouble than they are to do anything about it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. It seems like since you've been up there, all I've had is calls on you as well. So it's a two-way street going on up there.
You've had calls on me?
Yes.
For doing...
the Kirkuses complaining on you about harassing them and giving them hell and all that stuff. So, you know, it's a two-way street. If we find out who them people were, we're going to question them, yes. But identifying them people, and when we get them identified, question them, you know, if they tell us that, you know, we didn't do any of that, then, you know, we can't charge them because we think they might have done it. We have to be able to prove they've done it.
When was anything ever called on me? The only thing I'm aware of is I was called in for trespassing because I was standing with two attorneys, of all people, in front of my property in a public road.
Well, there's been some stuff before that, too, about you going to the Kirkus' residence one time, I believe.
When this first started, to ask why they cut my lock and broken into my property.
Right. But, you know, like I said, it's a two-way street. I'm not trying to protect anybody. If we find out somebody up there, or get them in here and question them, and they say they've done something, then they're going to get charges filed on them. They're going to go to jail. But I can't just say just because I think they done it, or I might know they done it, or I'm pretty sure they done it, I can't put them in jail. That doesn't work that way.
Well, I understand that, but, I mean, geez, look what's going on here. In the span of 2 weeks, I've had a dog poisoned, a power line shut.
And there's no way of proving who poisoned the dog. I think the sheriff done had that conversation with you himself, hasn't he? At this point, other than that video, which proves pretty much what, trespassing, or and the reason the game warden was going to do it because he was going to get them for hunting without permission, because he's got, you know, they all got guns and stuff. Then, you know, there's not a whole lot of that video that I've been told, because I haven't seen the video myself, but that I've been told that other than that you can do.
It seems odd they're trespassing, carrying guns, and when they realize they've been caught, they take the time to wipe their fingerprints off the door.
I couldn't tell you about all that.
It's all in the video, and it's all frame by frame, time.
I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't seen the video. I can't comment on that. So I can just comment on what the DA told me and what I've been told. And I know that the game warden was still trying to work on identify them folks. And if he gets them for hunting without permission, that's the same as trespassing. They won't get them for hunting without permission and trespassing both. They'll get them for one or the other.
He told me he could only get them for spotlighting, that it was up to you to get them for trespassing.
Well, I don't know. The last I heard, that's what they were going to try and do if they could identify who all the folks was. So, and that's where they're at from there.
Okay, well, as a police officer, what's your best advice to me when every time seems like almost every time I go up to my place, either one of my animals gets poisoned or there's been vandalism done?
Well, you know, all we can do is keep trying and trying to figure out who's doing this.
You don't think the fact that I'm in litigation with Turkises would have any bearing on this?
I do not, and I'm going to tell you right now, I flat do not believe the Kirkuses are doing any of that.
So you believe that while they were camped 25 yards away, somebody else walked past? They weren't camped,
somebody else were. They live out there.
No, they had a camper camped right next to there.
But no, I don't believe the Kirkuses went over there and done any damage to your property. No, I don't. My personal opinion, no, I do not believe that.
Well, if that's true, then that means someone else had to walk past them while doing it while they were camped there.
Well, I don't know, and I'm not going to debate it no more with you. I'm just telling you what the DA told me on the video, and that we don't have any proof yet as to who done whatever to your well pump. I don't have any proof of who done it. When I get that proof, yes, we'll file on somebody. But until then, there's nothing that I can do. I can't go up and accuse people just because we think they done it.
Well, they didn't have no problem with sending the sheriff's department out there to accuse me of trespassing when I was just standing in front of my property on a county road with 2 lawyers.
Well,
they got somebody out there pretty quick for that.
Floyd may have just happened to be in the area. You know?
Okay.
I don't believe the Kirkuses, I'm like the sheriff, I don't believe the Kirkuses poisoned your animals either, because they got too many animals running around out there for them to be throwing poison out just to try to get one animal. You know, I'm not saying it wasn't poisoned. It may have been. I don't know. I've not seen any paperwork showing it.
We had an autopsy done, and Texas A&M took a look at it, and that's what they came up with.
Well, I hadn't seen any paperwork showing that.
I didn't know I needed to send it to you.
Well, it ain't gonna. I mean, you could, but until we prove or get somebody who says that they poisoned the dog, I mean, it ain't gonna do much good.
We just thought it was ironic that after he called the sheriff for me standing with the lawyers in the road, one day later, that's when this happened. It's kind of ironic timing, don't you think?
It's, you know what? We can all do ironic timing, and if we ever get a suspect or somebody who confesses and it ties in and you can tie that in with it, then it works great. But until I can prove a suspect done it or they had confessed to doing that, it's just, right now, it's just suspicion.
All right. What about the complaint we filed about the free-range cattle?
Free-range cattle? I have no clue on that one.
I filed 2 complaints so far. The sheriff keeps saying he'll check with the district attorney, and the district attorney keeps saying he's not heard from him. So I talked to Colonel Grimes twice now, and he assured me that that is illegal. There are no grandfather clauses.
Well, you know what? I don't know. That's as far as I'm understanding, a lot of that's still in litigation over that property up there, isn't it?
No, it don't have anything to do with it. The law wouldn't affect in 65 saying you got to contain your animals. It has nothing to do with the property.
Right, but that they've been having their animals range up there for years now.
Well, I guess they've been breaking the law for a long time and getting away with it.
Maybe so, I don't know. But until I get a clear answer from the district attorney or somebody up there on what to do on that, well, as soon as we do, then we'll act on it.
Mr. Grimes didn't call you yesterday?
Mr. Grimes is not a district attorney. Mr. Grimes just runs a forestry investigation. And yes, I talked to Mr. Grimes.
And he told you it was against the law?
No, he said that there's no more free ranging. But I still don't know for sure on that road up there what is the deal. You know, what is the litigation on that? I know there was a lawsuit filed on that road up there.
The lawsuit is filed over the statutory easement for my property to my gate hole.
Right.
Which really doesn't have anything to do with cows being loose on the road.
Well, I will check with the district attorney Tuesday and ask him on this deal with the road.